Hello, family. So good to be home. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Johns. Some of you have known me long enough to call me Jenny. This is our first congregational song, so if you know it, sing along.
We may stand, please.
Yes, please stand. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think that God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator and makes all things new. And God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Good morning. I'm happy to see you all here. Thank you for being here. I'm Cheryl Archer. I use she and her pronouns. And I'd like to thank our talented musicians, Kev Choice and Jen Jones. Johns, sorry. I know that. And let's give some love to the video team. Welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach spiritual principles and practices that nourish us, uplift us, and celebrate our oneness with all of life. A special welcome to those of you joining us for the very first time. We're so glad you're here in the sanctuary with us. Please raise your hand, and someone will bring you a welcome packet. Also, a big welcome to everyone who is joining us on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Make sure you sign up for our weekly newsletter so you can learn all about the fun things we have to offer here at the Oakland Center. We respectfully acknowledge that here in the Bay Area, we gather on the traditional land of the indigenous people, the Ohlone people. We honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded this land for countless generations. Now let's take a moment to bless our children wherever they are. We bless all the children in our community and the world. We love you, we see you, we know the truth of who you are. You are unique expressions of God, and we are grateful to have you in our lives, and so it is. Join us on Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2025, for our annual candlelight service from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., followed by cookies and cider reception in the social hall. All are invited, making this a joyous family affair. Our Tri-Community Collective, East Bay Church, Heart and Soul, and Oakland CSL is hosting a joint sacred gathering on New Year's Eve at the East Bay Church of Religious Science. They're at 4130 Telegraph in Oakland, and it's from 5:30 to 8 p.m. All are invited to attend. Our monthly community potluck and Bring a Friend Sunday is next Sunday, December 28th, every fourth Sunday after service. Board member Deborah Jackson is leading this program and can be reached at deborah@oaklandcsl.org for more information. Wednesday Midweek Oasis is restarting in 2026, beginning on January 7th. The weekly focus of Oasis will now rotate between visioning and discussion of our daily readers. 1 week during the month, on second Wednesdays, will be left open for participation in the joint social activism meeting between Oakland CSL, East Bay, and Heart and Soul. Details will be in the Village News, or you can visit our website, oaklandcsl.org, for more information. Be sure to check out our weekly newsletter and watch the information on the screens for upcoming activities. Visit our Spirit Treasure bookstore after service for our 2026 daily readers and great holiday gift deals. Visit oaklandcsl.org for more information about our beloved community, and visit csl.org to see what's happening within our Centers for Spiritual Living global organization. Let's read together our vision and mission statement. Please stand if you are willing and able to recite our sacred creed. The vision of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living is to joyfully reveal the love and oneness of God. We are a welcoming and inclusive spiritual community dedicated to individual transformation and collective growth. Our purpose is to love, inspire, and serve our community and the world through education, music, prayer, and play.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, nice to have a nice reception. I'm Reverend Catherine. I'm your public assistant for the day, and we have some good readings. Our first reading for the day is from our founder, Ernest Holmes. as our thought is opened and we behold the image of eternity within ourselves, we are changed by this image into a newness of life. This is accomplished by the Spirit of God. And then Ralph Waldo Emerson. You are an inlet and may become an outlet to all there is in God. All there is, not just good enough, not just making do, but all there is. Let your allness be revealed. Release your inner beauty. Unleash your imprisoned splendor. So in this moment, I invite everyone to release that splendor. Let's go within for a moment into that eternity, which is the allness and the oneness of God. Whatever we wish to call it, it is the one. There is nothing but that. And it is overspilling with so much love, which is its essential nature, that it cannot help but express and manifest and give. So this morning, in this time of solstice and high holy days, we stand to receive. In solstice, we know the blessings of darkness. We feel the darkness of the womb of creativity, which is life itself. We bless the ignition and igniting of light with the Hanukkah candles, the oil that never, never gives out, so that our lives emerge once again into that newness, so that we are prepared to take on the new year and mold it and shape it and craft it in ways that are healing and blessing for ourselves, for others, for the earth itself. And this morning we come together to acknowledge all of this, to celebrate it with our song, our prayers, our presence, with the music that is so deliberately and beautifully offered to us, and with the energy that was created by our meditation, and with the glorious, wonderful skills of our senior minister, Reverend Sunshine Michelle, the orchestral conductor of our beautiful service, and all the loving hands who have come together to be the notes that make this music. So I bless our time together. I give thanks for all the wisdom and the insight and the gold that we get today, and I simply allow it to emerge unleashed and unconstrained out into the world. And if it sounds good to you, please let's say together, and so it is. Thank you.
Someday at Christmas, men won't be boys, playing with bombs like kids play with toys. One warm December, our hearts will see a world where we are free. Someday at Christmas, there'll be no wars, when we have learned what Christmas is for. When we have found what life's really worth, then there'll be peace on earth. Someday at Christmas, our dreams will be someday in a world where we are free. Someday at Christmas, they'll see a land, no hungry children, no empty hands. One happy morning, people will share a world where we all care. Someday at Christmas, there'll be no tears when all of us are equal and none of us have fear. One shining moment, one prayer away from our world today. Someday at Christmas, our dreams will be someday in a world where we all are free. Maybe just in time for you and me. This time at Christmas. Someday at Christmas, we will not fail. Hate will be gone and all love will prevail. Someday a new world where we can start with hope, hope in our hearts. Oh God, be home. My God, let there be hope in our hearts. Someday at Christmas, we'll see a land. There's nothing but love for all. This Christmas, I believe this Christmas, I know this Christmas. Christmas will all be
The awesome, fantastic Jen Johns. Thank you. And our maestro, Mr. Kev Choice. My, aren't we blessed? I'm glad you said yes, there's no other answer. Even if you don't know it yet. Welcome and grand rising to all of you. This is a beautiful day that the Lord has made, that we rejoice, and we are... you don't sound glad to me. Let me start again. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice in what? Be glad. Okay then, act like it. We might as well, because today and now is what we have. No next moment is guaranteed, so we might as well live this one fully and completely to the best of our ability. Yes? For sure. I'm Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman. I am the proud spiritual director of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Give that a hand. Because I'm happy about it. Sometimes I'm not. Let me be honest, okay? Just sometimes. Just sometimes. But, you know, most of the time I am. I use my pronouns are she and they, and I am delighted to be here with you at this precious time. That didn't even come out. Have a lot of wonderful activities here today, this morning. It's a special time. What I want you to do is, if you're not on our newsletter list, read it, because we've truncated the announcements. So please go there to get the information. We have a lot going on, and we put it there so that we could spend extra time on volunteer recognition and for our Holy Day celebrations. So before I get to that, I want to get to this, because this just didn't get up here by itself. You know, and last week I admitted to you and let all the buckets and the ladder and everything just be right over there unkept. It was hard, right? But I asked for volunteers, and you know what? Some folks stayed. And I want to acknowledge them, because we didn't have our altars up, and we needed our altars up, and they got up there, not by themselves. So I want to acknowledge, you can hold your applause until the end, but the woman who saved the day the other day was Miss Sylvia Hughes, who was here by herself doing some things with these altars, and she put that together with the assistance by phone remotely from Washington of our own Paul Pursuti. We're all missing Paul, because this time of year he would have snapped all that stuff into shape. Okay, so we're pleased with that. And Judith Roberts and I helped create a Solstice altar. It's not quite like Paul's, but we have one up there. And I also want to thank Shirley Strong and Nancy Hester, because they decorated the tree. Craig Ferguson helped, for sure. Thank you, Craig. And Steve Carter. All of them were working. If I missed anybody, I want you to stand. But please, y'all stand if you're in the house and give them a hand. Thank you so much. So you know what goes up must do what? Come down. Okay, so on the first full week of January, Sylvia has agreed to lead the effort to take the decorations down, and I really don't want her to do that by herself. So listen in for more details, and we'll let you know when that's going to happen. So please help her. The next 2 Sundays, we're enjoying our Holy Days celebrations. Today, it's going to be Hanukkah and Winter Solstice, and next week it will be Kwanzaa, and we'll do some year-end closing. So it's exciting times. You already heard in the announcements, but I just want to give a highlight. Our midweek Oasis is coming back virtually in 2026. This is a way for us to deepen into our spiritual practices with our 2 readers. They're in the bookstore on forgiveness and love. That's what we're focusing on next year. So please do join us for visioning and for discussion on the readings so that we can steepen in our spiritual practice. How many of y'all want to do that? Okay, a lot of hands went up, so I expect to see you on Zoom, please. All right, so without further ado, and then I'll come back and introduce our Holy Days, we want to start with volunteer recognition. And I like to kick this off because I just want to tell you how much I love you. Do you know that in order to run a center like this, it takes 99% of volunteers, or else we wouldn't be here doing this. So we like to thank you, we like to recognize you, and the folks who are doing that are Robert Leeds and practitioner emeritus Andy Robbins, and I hear they have a beautiful assistant today. Laurel Leeds is visiting us from Southern California, so let's welcome them up.
And Aaron, if you're out there somewhere, come join us. Hi, everybody. Welcome to part 3 of our volunteer recognition, and I was thinking today as I was looking at the groups that we're honoring that it's kind of fallen into like different categories, like the systems of the body. So the first week we did the facilities and the building and the gardens, and that's like the bones, the structure of the body. And then last week we did all of the Sunday support folks, and that's like the circulatory system and the heart. Well, today we're doing the nervous system, the brains. That's going to be all the operations, all the financial things that go into running this center, and our administrative assistants as well. So, and as Reverend Sunshine Michelle pointed out, all the way from LA, this morning, my daughter Laurel decided to join us. She will be the holder of the hearts. So as we call your names, I'm sure that you have gotten the swing of it by now. Come on up, try to hold your applause till the end, and when everyone's on stage and they've gotten their heart, then we'll give them a round of applause. Andy gave me the nod, so it's all good. So we're starting out with operations and administrative support, and I do want to mention there are a couple of people that we're going to mention that I guess technically you wouldn't call them volunteers because they are paid employees. However, they give so much more above and beyond what their job duties say. So we want to include them in the recognition. Starting with operations and administrative support, we've got the lead, Steve Carter. Come on up. Yeah. Pam Archuleta, Beverly Bailey, and Peggy Cotton. Moving on to the bookkeeping and the check signers. We've got Dow Becker, the lead.
Hey there, thank you.
Beth Van Arkel, Larry Wyman, and myself are all check signers.
I'll follow you.
Thank you. Nice to see you, Laurel.
And you'll notice some repeat names, of course. The adults in the room, and man, have they been on the job, the Board of Trustees. Our president, Beth Van Arkel. Our vice president, Sam Leone. Our treasurer, Elka Moritz. Our trustee, Nancy Hester. Our another trustee, Deborah Jackson. And another trustee, someone, what is this? Dr. Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman. You got to come up this time. And then also the Finance Committee, headed up by my neighbor, Mr. Leeds, joined by Elka Moritz, Judith Roberts, and Larry Wyman.
You better give the board a hand.
All right, and following that, we're honoring the board nominating committee for their service, and the board nominating committee is comprised of myself, Dottie Baker, Larry Williams, Dorothy Mendez, and our liaison, Deborah Jackson. All right, and the very important volunteer service counters our love offerings. Pam Archuleta, Nancy Hester, Deborah Jackson, Sam Ladion, Robert Leeds, Dorothy Mendez, Elka Moritz, Beth Van Arkel, and Larry Wyman. That's a big group.
And last but not least, we have our marketing team, Sage Artists with social media. Hi, Sage, she's up in Truckee. She does it all remotely. Steve Carter, Beth Van Arkel, Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman, Reverend Teresa Gardner, Reinhardt Jolie, and Helene Cirillo.
Miss Helene, she can't, she's on the PowerPoint.
Hi, Helene, on the PowerPoint. And that's it. Applause. Good night, Gracie.
We just can't thank you enough for all you do. You saw how many people were repeat and some folks weren't here, and so we really count on our volunteers. And this is a shameless plug. If you're not up here or you haven't been volunteering, we have a place for you. So just talk to Robert, Andy, or myself and we'll hook you up. Okay, let's take a community breath together by first exhaling right where you are. Just let it go. Now breathe in slowly, deeply, intentionally, consciously. When you get to the top, let it out with a sigh. Twice more. Breathing in again, deeply, fully, completely, intentionally, and letting it out. A bigger breath, breathing it in deeply, and letting it out deeply. And now we simply sink into the breath of life that comes without effort. All we need to do is allow. Mother Gaia and Spirit has created our bodies to be able to breathe in and to let it go. This is the law of circulation in motion. And we are grateful for that. And together we can hear the word. We've been studying from our daily readers, 2 more weeks left. We've been studying from 365 Science of Mind by our founder of Science of Mind philosophy, Dr. Ernest Holmes. And we've also been reading from 365 Gratitude by practitioner Deborah Perdue. Here's a snippet that we're going to recite together if you so choose, but instead of just reciting it, let's know it. Let's lift our voice to know this truth together. Ready? Yes, here we go. I know that the invisible power of the Spirit is with me. I know that my world is peopled with forms of light with the divine radiance. Let's continue with gratitude. Through what we don't want, we are getting clearer on what we do want. Conditions and experiences shall pass. I am one with nature. Nature is one with me. I am love, harmony, unity. And so it is. Or else Larry will come get me if I don't say that. Isn't it interesting how the reading from today, and we're honoring winter solstice, talks about nature? You know, maybe Deborah was thinking about that around this time, I don't know. We have been working with the Centers for Spiritual Living global themes, which is... You like that, Jen? Here we go. Rising higher, growing deeper. Yes, see, we even have hand movements and hand gestures. Everybody's getting it. You're going to have to learn something new for next year pretty soon, okay? And our monthly theme, which I proudly wrote, is shedding our skin. Shedding our skin. I'm going to read just a little bit from the outline that I created, but we're going to go on to our holiday celebration. So I wanted you to hear just a little bit about what I was thinking a year ago when I wrote this. This week's theme would have been rich and juicy. It is slither and slime to sublime. Don't you want to know what I might have said today on that? But here's what, as we prepare to go into our holiday celebrations, what I want to read to you, actually, because it was really great. It was around this theme, and it fits in with our celebrations that we're coming to. And it says, this high holy season calls for intention and attention to release, let go, and allow Spirit to guide us. Perhaps we need to honor the pace of life that is calling us. Whether that is to speed up a tad, I don't know if anybody needs to speed up, or slow down a notch. Maybe that's a little bit better. What is our inner voice beckoning us to do or be? This is the call to action that I was writing in this outline. What is our inner voice beckoning us to do and be? Are we listening up and listening in to what is ringing within us? Are we spending quality time with ourselves to nurture our growth and evolution? Things for you to ponder and to journal about. How are we being called to stretch and grow? What is ours to do and be during this important season of life in our communities, our families, or our private inner sanctuary? Is it time to examine and reflect on who we are really and what do we want to do in life? What will bring us happiness and what has caused us pain? What do we need to shed in this time of the light arising and the darkness birthing this creativity? What do we need to shed and what awaits us in the newness that is burgeoning forth? The answer to these questions is great to journal, I mentioned, and will help guide us on the next steps of action to take to living our life fully and completely in the highest. So take that in, let it go into your bones during these holy days. And what I want to just call forth before I call our friends up is that these holy days honor varied celebrations and traditions. We like to be inclusive. We like to honor the different traditions. And as important as ever, to acknowledge the different cultures, spiritual traditions, and practices of our multicultural society. Because there's so much affront right now on those traditions. It's important for us now more than ever to honor the different cultures. Because that's what I believe. Do you believe that? Yes. I believe that's what Ernest Holmes believed, because he wrote about it. That's why our New Thought philosophy, ancient wisdom, New Thought is what it's called, embraces all the traditions and adds a little flavor of our own. So we respect these, we appreciate them, and we learn from other cultures. And we have a multicultural community, so we want to honor that. That's why we continue to do these celebrations, to recognize these year-end holidays and holy days in this way. And while there's many traditions we could honor, we celebrate some of the common ones, the main ones. And we're going to do 5. 2 today, 1 on Wednesday, and 2 next week. Here's how they'll go. Hanukkah is today, and I understand, and Robert and Amy will tell you it's the last day of Hanukkah. So we're glad that we can celebrate the Jewish festival of lights, which they'll tell you about. And winter solstice is today. This is where you get the darkest, and then we move into the light. In that womb space, you know, I told you about the leaves that I'm seeing falling in my yard. There's even more. And then you wonder when you're supposed to clean them up because they keep falling. And then it's raining. Isn't that messy? But that's okay. We just gonna bless. Let me just bless Mother Nature for even having leaves that have life, that surrender themselves into that cycle of life that knows that it needs to dry and wither and fall to be composted. That's the consciousness of nature. So we celebrate winter solstice that John and Judith are going to tell us about, the change of seasons during this end of year time, and earth-based traditions that are related to that. And then on Wednesday, you heard we're on Christmas Eve. This Wednesday, December 24th, we're celebrating the Christian holiday of Christmas. So yet another culture. And on Sunday, we're celebrating Kwanzaa, next Sunday the 28th, during service, which is an African-American holiday honoring traditions of unity and family and culture, as well as the year end. So with that, and without any further ado, I want to bring forth Robert Leeds. I'm going to call them in order, and then they're going to come up on their own. First, we'll start with Hanukkah. Since Hanukkah is going on right now, Robert Leeds and Amy Shelvnick are going to tell you about that. And then when they're done, Judith Roberts, practitioner, and John Roselle, you won't miss him for sure. He's my sparkle partner. We'll tell you about winter solstice. Let's give them some love.
Hi, everyone. Hanukkah, Hanukkah. I've been telling you about Hanukkah for years.
Can I just put this?
Yeah, we'll need that later. I've been telling you about Hanukkah for years now, so this year I'm going to kind of have a different focus more on some of the spiritual aspects of the holiday. But first, a little history and background. Even though it is 2,200 years old, Hanukkah is one of Judaism's newest holidays. It's the only Jewish holiday that is not connected to something in the Hebrew Bible. And it's also not the Jewish Christmas. It's actually a relatively minor holiday in the Jewish calendar, and it's that proximity to Christmas that has increased its visibility. Rooted in historical events, the festival commemorates the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem and the miracle of the oil that continued to burn for 8 days. The historical event that is the basis for Hanukkah is the victory of the Maccabees, a ragtag army of Jewish rebels that were fighting King Antiochus IV of Syria. In 168 BC, Antiochus outlawed Jewish practice and forced the Jews to adopt pagan rituals and assimilate into Greek culture. The Maccabees revolted against this persecution. They captured Jerusalem from Antiochus's control, removed from the Jerusalem temple symbols of pagan worship that Antiochus had introduced, and set about to reconsecrate the temple. The word Hanukkah means dedication because it celebrates the rededication of that holy temple. Now, when they went to light the temple menorah, they found only a single jar of sacred oil that had escaped contamination by the Greeks. Miraculously, they lit the menorah, and the one-day supply of oil lasted for 8 days until new oil could be purified for ritual use. So that's the basic story. You know that story. There will not be a quiz. I want to share a few spiritual facets of the holiday. So the central Hanukkah tradition is lighting the menorah. We light one additional candle each night for 8 nights. Now there's a famous debate in the Talmud over this method. One rabbi argued to start with all 8 candles lit and reduce the number one by one each day. On the other hand, the famous Rabbi Hillel says to start with 1 candle and add an additional candle each night. Ultimately, Hillel won the debate, signifying that we should add light to the world and never diminish it. It is customary to refrain from doing any work while the Hanukkah candles are burning. This tradition helps us to focus on the mitzvah, and I'll explain that word in a minute, mitzvah of lighting the candles rather than quickly moving on without reflection. This intentional pause during this time serves as an opportunity for us to engage in meaningful reflection. By stepping back from daily tasks, we create an environment conducive to deep thought and contemplation. I just want to mention the word mitzvah is often translated as good deed, but it actually carries a lot more weight than that. It's a commandment that by doing these certain acts, it creates more sacredness in the world. So that's what mitzvah is, and there's technically like 613 of them. I will not repeat them all right now. There is a tradition of publicizing the miracle, where we light the menorah in public view. Typically, menorahs are placed in windowsills, in doorways, or even outside. The origins of this tradition trace back to the time of the Hanukkah story, when Jews had to hide their religious practices during the oppressive Syrian Greek regime. This act symbolizes the freedom to openly practice our faith and the spreading of the menorah's light to the world. And one more. The 8th night of Hanukkah, which is tonight, holds particular spiritual significance, stemming from the number 8's association with holiness and the spiritual realm. In Jewish tradition, the world was created in 7 days, a number representing completeness and the bounds of the earthly realm. While 7 signifies the completion of the natural world, 8 signifies a transcendence of the natural order and a deeper connection with the divine. Each night of Hanukkah, and especially the 8th night, presents a chance to rise above the ordinary, focus on the miraculous, and connect with the divine. I turn it over now to Amy.
Do we have the other slide? I'm asking for the next slide. Oh, they didn't get the slide. Okay. I have some show and tell. Okay. Well, Hag Sameach. You have to say that with a so the chet letter in Hanukkah has that. So it's Hag Sameach. That means happy holidays. So if you want to greet someone Jewish on this holiday, you can say Chag Sameach, and they'll probably be like, how'd you learn that? So I'm going to talk about the traditions associated with Hanukkah. So that means fried foods, chocolate, and gambling. I know, right? Perhaps the miracle we celebrate today is that we don't get clogged arteries. Hanukkah has traditions that arose from interpretations of historical events, as Robert mentioned, interpretations that were influenced by non-Jewish traditions over the centuries, and I'll take you through that. We already talked about the public displays of lights. That's a common tradition across many cultures during dark winter days. It is not customary for Jews to hang lights from their roofs or on trees, but rather, as Robert says, we place our lighted menorahs, typically electric ones, in the windows where neighbors and passerbys will see it. Recall that this is a holiday that celebrates our ability to freely practice our beliefs, so this lighted display serves to publicize our pride in our Judaism. We eat foods fried in oil, as this is symbolic of the oil used to light the menorah during the rededication of the temple. The Eastern European classic is the potato latke, and again, that word is pronounced latka. I hear some people say latke, they don't know how to pronounce it. It's L-A-T-K-E, latke. It's a hash brown-like pancake served with applesauce or sour cream. And the reigning Israeli favorite fried foods are sufganiot, there's another word you can learn, or jelly donuts. And if anyone wants recipes for either, let me know. Tonight being the 8th night, I typically make sufganiot on the 8th night, and I make latkes on the 1st night, although I have a friend who makes latkes every night for 8 nights. Like I said, miracle, not getting clogged arteries. On Hanukkah, it is customary to play with a dreidel, which is this 4-sided spinning top, bearing the Hebrew letters. You can't see this on this one, but come up here and look at it. Nun, Gimel, Hey, and Shin. You may remember from my last talk about the letter Shin, live long and prosper, where that came from. So this, it kind of looks like a W. So there's that letter again. So legend has it that the dreidel was used as camouflage. Students who were studying religious texts in defiance of the Hellenist ban on Jewish learning kept a dreidel in their pocket. And as the soldiers approached, they quickly hid their scrolls and took out the dreidels, because how could soldiers protest an innocent game of dreidel? The game actually originates from a 16th century English-Irish gambling game called teetotum. The game is usually played for a pot of coins, nuts, or candy, which is won or lost based on which letter of the dreidel lands on when it's spun. So none, you get nothing. Gimel, you get the pot. Hey, you get half. And shin, you gotta put one in. So the phrase Nes Gadol Haya Sham, meaning a great miracle happened there, emerged in the late 19th century as a popular explanation for the 4 Hebrew letters on the dreidel. Because Nes Gadol Haya Sham, those words start with Nun Gimel Hey Shin. So that linked the game to the Hanukkah story, though this connection isn't ancient. So you see how over time things have become part of the tradition. And because of the proximity to Christmas, the practice of giving gifts on Hanukkah grew during the 20th century. This tradition is actually to give Hanukkah gelt. Gelt is the Yiddish word for money, and you give that to children. So in addition to rewarding children for positive behavior, the gift of money gives the children the opportunity to give tzedakah, or loosely translated as charity. But it's a broader concept, like the law of circulation. So Hanukkah gelt has also spawned the phenomenon of foil-covered, and that's what these are, chocolate gelt. This would be your guilty pleasure. And these are more symbolic than these are really tasty, but they're typically placed out. So, in conclusion, Hanukkah joins many other midwinter holidays that invoke light. It is a celebration of overcoming oppression, a reminder to persevere and stand up for what's right no matter the odds. And I think we could all feel that this year. So we want to create a world that works for everyone. And we pray this year our Hanukkah lights will be a source of brightness for our world, and that wherever they are placed, they will bring light and hope to each of us and to our community. Hag Sameach. We're going to light the candles.
We're going to...
Oh, I didn't play, well, while he's waiting for that. I'm not singing,
We're
but
moving over here.
Yes.
We're taking a... okay.
I'm playing this while you're getting ready. That's I Have a Little Dreidel song.
I didn't realize I was getting marching music. So we're going to light the candles, and then we're going to say the Hebrew prayers. There's 2 traditional Hebrew prayers that are said after the lighting of the candles. I'm going to let Amy do the honors. Yeah.
So this is the shamus is the middle candle, and every night the shamus lights the other candles. You typically put the candles in from right to left because Hebrew is read from right to left, but you light them from the most recent candle. So we're going to light them from left to right, but we put them in.
have some stubborn candles here. They just needed to be coaxed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavotenu bayamim hahem b'zman hazeh. Amen. Yes, of course.
Hi, good morning. It's my first time up here. Thank you so much. So I had to of course, do my best Reverend Sunshine Sparkle. So, Merry Solstice. Or I might just as easily say, Happy New Year. Some of you may know Samhain, otherwise known as Halloween, or the autumn equinox, are, by many historians in the ancient pagan calendar, that's the pagan New Year. But really, what it is just the beginning of the darkness, the hunger times. Yes, Samhain is the end of the year, followed by, actually in the ancient calendar, sort of an empty time. That'd be the end of the year, and the calendar wouldn't begin again until the solstice. So this is a time for gathering close to kin around the fire. Telling ghost stories is actually a very ancient tradition for this time of year, nice and spooky and dark. And we await the hope of the reborn sun. No, not that sun. He came around much, much later, ages and ages later. But the true OG, the original reason for this season, has always been the solstice. The sun is returning to us as it promised it would. And so we celebrate this continuing covenant that though we watch the sun die, we trust in our ancient traditions that it will return again in the spring, bringing new life, resurrecting all that around us that now appears dead. And we give thanks that our faith was not in vain. It's similar themes that have continued, don't you think? I don't believe that it's a coincidence that many of the holidays celebrated this time of year, from Christmas to Hanukkah to Kwanzaa and Diwali, all carry themes of light in darkness, both physical and elemental, but also the spiritual. Sorry, my name is John Roselle, and today I've been asked to speak about the solstice. Now, that's something that's been honored and celebrated as far back as we can trace our species. We find evidence of our ancestors marking the days as important for both the practical the practical marking of days and tracking the stars and seasons, but also the spiritual cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Now, as a modern-day pagan, raised Catholic, it's been an interesting journey, my spiritual journey, finding my path back into spirituality after being raised as a Christian, and researching my own culture's indigenous spiritualities and traditions, many of which were thoroughly erased as Europe was converted to Christianity, often forcefully at the point of a sword, in a wave of what we would today call cultural genocide. The pagan languages, traditions, plant wisdom of the Druids, the Celts, the Old Norse were lost forever. Many of the names of the old gods that we even use today are just guesses. Our Norse mythology, for example, being written down hundreds of years after the conversion of the area, and written down hundreds of years later by monks who had to weave in Christian themes just to even write the stories down and have the books not burned, or they had to vilify the old gods and nature spirits as demons. But for fun, I thought it might be fun to discuss a few of the ancient traditions that were rooted just too deep in the people's psyche to ever be truly forgotten. Long before the character of Santa, and still even thousands of years older than St. Nicholas, there was a wise old man of the north. Yule Father, King Frost, Father Winter were but some of his titles. You might also know him by Odin Allfather. At midwinter, he would ride with his deadly host of soldiers and the dead, and what was called the Wild Hunt. It was considered most unfortunate to be caught outdoors and lay eyes upon the wild hunt, for it was fearsome to behold. And meeting Odin could be a most dangerous encounter, wise as he was, but he had a knack for knowing who had been good and who had been bad. And he could reward or punish. Children would leave out boots filled with straw for Odin's steed, Sleipnir. For Odin, too, rode the skies on not 8 reindeer, but a flying horse with 8 legs. Coincidence, quite possibly, or maybe it's a spiritual echo ripple of old gods who are determined not to be forgotten. There's another tradition, equally ancient, from the far north that has another bringer of gifts, dressed in red and white. The shamans of the Sami people of the north of Scandinavia, probably the closest living link to the indigenous spiritual practices of the indigenous Europeans. These shamans, as the traditional healers and spiritual leaders of the community, it was their task to gather the sacred Amanita muscaria mushroom that is used in spiritual and psychological healing, bringing back answers from the spirit world as well. The Amanita muscaria mushroom, wouldn't you know, grows at the feet of coniferous pine trees. It has a symbiotic relationship with its roots. At some point in history, they were even thought to perhaps be the fruit of the tree or be connected to the tree in some way, which they in fact are, just a different species working together. And it was these shamans' task to know when and where to harvest and the proper sacred ways to harvest them and prepare them. After the mushrooms had been procured and prepared, often by drying them in socks by the fire, the shaman's next task would be to deliver the mushrooms to the individual villagers' huts, which often snowed in this time of year. The shaman would be forced to enter using a hole in the roof for the smoke from the fire to escape. Then as now, these mushrooms must have acted as a powerful antidepressant in the long months with no sun or leafing twig. You have to imagine it must have been quite hard to get through. We have seasonal depression now. Our community tradition of, so we can go to the next slide. You can almost really see, was Santa a mushroom shaman? It is fun for us modern pagans as we try and trace our roots to speculate on some of these things that we can't ever know for sure, but the coincidences are fun. Our community tradition of caroling has its roots in the tradition of wassailing, where villagers would go about singing and wishing blessings unto the lords of the land and receive food and adult beverages in return. And wassailing, as implied, was an ancient blessing. It's seen in the tale Beowulf as a toast to wish someone good health, washael. In some villages in England and elsewhere, there remains a tradition of wassailing to the trees of the apple orchards. This tradition has ancient origins that long predate Christianity. The villagers gather, ring bells, sing songs, dance, bang sticks and drums, play horns and flutes, and light bonfires to drive away bad energies and evil spirits. They would sing to the trees, decorate the trees, leave offerings, and pour out cider to the nature spirits of the orchard, all in hopes of not angering them, keeping them healthy, and receiving their blessings of a bounteous harvest the next year. For me, it seems solstice has always been a time for stillness, putting down roots for inward reflection, And as the entire northern hemisphere drops its leaves and takes a giant exhale, we can do the same along with it. It's a time for coming together and remembering our interwovenness with community to survive the long winter, but also our interwovenness with nature, both terrestrial and cosmic. We still are dependent on and live our lives by the seasons, though it can be easy to forget that in our cozy Mediterranean Bay Area climate sometimes. But we all know that we can't grow apples without bees. Did you know we also can't grow apples without frost? They need the frost to harden off the twigs to grow the fruit the next year. We lose the frost, we lose the apples. It's not just the bees, it's all of nature. The seasons are important too. There are still so many ways nature plays a role in our shared destinies. And I think that's why, whether we realize it or not, we've never stopped celebrating the solstice. The evergreen wreaths and trees we surround ourselves remind us that life goes on, just as the evergreen persists through the winter. We go into the night together, and we come back into the light together, for as long as the sun returns each season. So let's remember to be grateful to the sun for warming the seeds in our fields, and the moon for the tides, and Mother Gaia, Midgard, our only home. As the sun today begins its journey back to us, banishing the darkness, we ask the renewed blessings of Odin, Father Solstice, all the old gods and goddesses, new and old. Merry Solstice. Thank you. And now Judith is going to lead us in a special solstice song.
Okay, so happy solstice, everyone. This song is actually not a solstice song per se. It's an earth song, and we're honoring the seasons, we're honoring the earth, we're honoring Mother Gaia. And so I'm going to first give you the words to the song. I'm going to invite you, we're going to see a video of the person who wrote the song. She's a local woman who lives in Willits. She's also a choir director. Her name is Madge Strong, and she gave us permission to show this video of her singing the song with movement. Then we're going to project a slide with the lyrics, and I'm going to invite all of you to sing the song with me with the movements. And it would be really lovely to hear this place filled with your voices. And I'll invite you to stand, but you don't have to stand. But if you're comfortable standing, it'll be easier to do the movements. So the words are from the, and I want to say that, our annual theme is what? Rising higher, growing deeper. Higher, growing deeper. And this song really is synchronistic with our annual theme, because we have a line that says from the earth to the sky above, and we have a line that says from my roots strong branches grow. So we're representing the earth and reaching to the sky in this song. So the words are, from the earth to the sky above, for us all, I give my love. I give my love, I breathe the air, returning home from everywhere. And from my roots, strong branches grow, and from the sea, I learn to flow. We are the flow. We are the ebb. We are the weavers. We are the web. So as this shows here, we're going to have the first line will repeat twice. We'll repeat each line twice, and then the final line will repeat one more time. So I would like to now go to the video of Madge, so you can hear her and see the movements, and then we'll close the video and come back to this slide. There's a beat
to the sky above, for us all, I give my love. From the earth to the sky above, for us all, I give my love. I give my love. I breathe the air, returning home from everywhere. I give my love. I breathe the air, returning home from everywhere. And from my roots, strong branches grow, and from the sea, I learn to flow. And from my roots, strong branches grow, and from the sea, I learn to flow. We are the flow, we are the air, we are the weavers, we are the web, we are the flow, we are the air, we are the weavers, we are the web, we are the weavers, we are the web.
Okay, so now you get to sing with me. Give me a moment here. I'm going to find my note, because I'm singing it a little bit lower than Madge did. I have a little piano on my phone. Look at this. This is amazing. It really is a piano on my phone. Okay. John's going to drum for me. From the earth to the sky above, for us all, I give my love. From the earth to the sky above, for us all, I give my love. I give my love. I breathe the air, returning home from everywhere. I give my love. I breathe the air, returning home from everywhere. And from my roots, strong branches grow, and from the sea, I learn to flow. And from the earth, strong branches grow, and from the sea, I learn to flow. We are the flow, we are the air, we are the weavers, we are the web. We are the flow, we are the air, we are the weavers, we are the web. We are the weavers, we are the web. Thank you, John. And I want to say a little bit more about, the thing about returning home from everywhere. I asked Madge what she meant by that, and she meant dust to dust, returning to the earth. I have a different feeling about returning home from everywhere, and that is, if my consciousness is scattered, if my thoughts are scattered, and I return home from everywhere, it's returning to the stillness inside me, returning to the place of peace inside, returning to home inside, to comfort. I wanted to say one more thing about solstice, and that's that this is a time, it's a good time to release the old patterns that no longer serve us. I often do a ceremony at midnight on the solstice, writing out what no longer serves me and burning it in fire, and then writing out what I'm claiming for the new year, what I'm bringing in, and also releasing that into fire so that it's going up in smoke. So however you want to do a solstice ritual, I really recommend doing it, because I think of tomorrow as really the new year. That's New Year's Day tomorrow. That's when the light returns. It's the opposite in the southern hemisphere, but this is a northern hemisphere thing. And I think it's also worthy of note that at the equator, there is no solstice. I was there once in Ecuador on summer solstice and with indigenous people, and I was going, how come there's nothing about solstice? Solstice just wasn't a thing. And then I realized that there's no change in the light and dark. Every day the sun rises at 6 a.m., and every day it sets at 6 p.m. There's no change, so solstice doesn't happen. But for us in the northern, and John, your talk was so beautiful. Let's give John a hand. I mean, that was just so informative. Who knew that Santa might have come from the Sami shamans? Okay, so thank you all. That was really lovely. I'm so glad you participated with me. Thank you.
Thank you to Judith and John and Amy and Robert. Let's give them some more love. And now let's seal it with a prayer, and let us have the practitioners and the ministers surround the congregations. You two live streamers, good morning to you, good afternoon, wherever you are. And here we go. So go into that inner sanctuary, if you will. However you find that, through your breath, gazing at our beautiful stained glass window, thinking of the candle within of God that can never be snuffed. Thank you, Eliza, for bringing up the prayer box. We know from this inner warm sanctuary of our hearts, we can feel it. Through our heartbeat, we can feel it. Through our knowingness of something that's bigger and grander than we are. Where we can look out the window and see the tree that blooms, and see the deer that passes by. Or we can see that bug creeping across the floor, knowing that it has multiple legs and we have only two, and that God created each of us unique and individual, just as we are. And so, we know that this divine presence, this holy presence, emanates from the celestial, the divine realms, into the human form, and into all planets and galaxies and spaces and causeways and places and the no thing and the everything, because it is all of that and more. And so we simply bask in the glow of this knowing, and we remind ourselves and let every cell in our body be reminded of this goodness and greatness in God. One of the favorite lines in my holiday favorite movie, The Jingle Jangle Story. One of the characters says, I'm smiling. Every tooth in my mouth is smiling. And so we know that every tooth, every tear, every drop of rain, every bit of earth, everything is smiling with the goodness and greatness of Spirit. That affects and impacts every prayer request in this box that Eliza holds with its perfection. The healing and the transmutation is already taking place because the ask, the reach was extended. And so whatever we are extending from our hearts today, we know that God meets that and responds to that and lifts that and helps us to know and remember that all things are working together for the greatest and highest good, regardless of appearances. So we dwell in this knowing during this winter solstice time. We dwell in this knowing during this time of lights as we celebrate Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and Christmas and Diwali and whatever other tradition is a reflection of this divine multiplicity in God that is wholeness, that is oneness, that is allness right now. And so as I speak these words from this prayer list that our practitioners are praying on, this ministry of prayer list, I am knowing the same. For Miss Lita de Seville, Miss Lupe Copenda, for Moisey Stewart, Aaron Stewart, Zion Romero, for Larry Jolivet, for Tanya Stum, Sam Ledeon, for Taylor, knowing that whatever their prayer request is, whether it be health, healing, wholeness, well-being, clarity, whatever your prayer is, it is already done in God. All we have to do is step into the mantle of the knowingness of it through our faith and our belief so that it manifests right here in our experience with abundance overflowing. Blessing Virginia Obi, who has made her transition, knowing that life is eternal. If we believe that, then we know that Virginia is celebrating wherever she is in the space of love and life, blessing and lifting her family in peace and comfort. And so, beloved, as I open this prayer for you to speak your voice, which makes it customized and personal, for you to speak your own name and for the names of whomever you would like to include in this vortex of love, I invite you to speak it now with that knowingness of truth.
Skirma family, Lakota family.
That as these names or circumstances are whispered out, that God is meeting the need right where it is with fulfillment, with blessings overflowing. Where two or more are gathered, there in the midst is the Christ consciousness that rains down the truth and the blessings therein. And so together, beloveds, let us fill our hearts with gratitude. Let us know that it is already done. If anyone is as grateful as I am for anything, it doesn't matter, even if you just are in this place or you have shoes on or that you can see or that you drove here, or that you had a ride here, you have a ride home, you have something to eat. It doesn't matter what it is. If you are blessed or feel blessed and are grateful, let me hear you say, I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. Oh, and yes, we give thanks. So we just let this word go with that gratitude, and we let it be, and we let it be well, knowing that divine universal law spins it around and goes poof, voila, yes, beloved, it is done, and gives it back to us, pressed down, multiplied, and running over with the goodness and greatness of God forevermore. And we let that be. Let us proclaim it together, beloveds. And so it is. And whatever else you want to say something else. Yes. Blessed be. Look at somebody and say, amen. Yes.
Good morning. Oh my, isn't this an abundantly blessed community? Just feeling all of the wonderment of the holiday season. It's been pouring down upon us right here, right now. I'm Reverend Jerry. I use she, her pronouns. And of course, I'm here to give you an update and to talk a little bit more about our annual pledge campaign for 2026, Open at the Top. Let us all be open at the top to the givingness of spirit, because we know that as we give, we receive. We have been doing a very good job of giving for our pledge campaign. Now, we have a couple Sundays left, today and next Sunday. That doesn't mean that the campaign ends. You can still pledge in 2026, but that gives us an opportunity to really budget for our center. We have 46 pledges, $155,000. So let's just be grateful for that. Now, to match this year, we need about another 50,000, but we are open and receptive to receiving more, aren't we? Yes, all of us, yes. So, as our founder, Ernest Holmes, said in It's Up to You, in 1968, the knowledge that God wants us to live fully, the certainty that there is no force to keep our good from us, the assurance that abundance is ours for the asking, will avail us nothing unless we use that knowledge. So this is where I'm saying, let us be affirmative in our thinking. Let us always be affirmative. Share with me one little tiny affirmation. And anytime that you're saying something that doesn't sound affirmative, just flip it. Simply flip it. Instead of saying, I am so unhappy because I just don't have enough, let us say, I am at peace with having a lot of money. I am at peace with having a lot of money, because when I have that, I can share that easily and effortlessly. So we are truly blessed in this teaching to bring more good to us, through us, and into our spiritual community and beyond. So, moving right along, I will be at the poster with the stars for any of you who have not put your star on the poster yet. But in the meantime, let us take our gifts and hold them to our hearts, and let us know that with this, well, let's say this affirmation because it's on the board right now, yes? Okay. Life is a miracle. What means? And so it is. Okay, and you know that we have lots of ways to give. We say it every Sunday. I'll just say it very briefly. Donate button on the website. Zelle to give, text to give, mail to give. Giving here today in our giving baskets supports us all in numerous ways. We also have the QR code to give, so we have made it very easy for all of us. Okay, we've said our affirmation. We have this, welcome home, Jen and Kev. We have this beautifully abundant gift of music, of creative energy that supports us spiritually. So thank you all. Thank you. Here you go. Woo-hoo.
So this song is super special to play here. God, it would have been 10 years ago maybe even more, when we were playing here regularly. And I was on the phone with a friend and I was writing these words, but I was kind of singing them quietly. And I was like, I don't get it. It hasn't, I don't have no push to it. So I come to church the next morning and I'm like, yo, Kev, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I really want to try and sing this song today. And so I start singing the melody. He goes, I dreamt about that chord progression. So there's an audio recording that we made the song from, where we're sitting here and I go, give us a minute. We just wrote this about 10 minutes ago. So it's good to be home. It's called What is Love?
love. Isn't that the only thing worth living for? In this crazy world, I know we're needing more. My God, it's love. It is time, the wretched of the earth, the meek, the cast aside, to know that they are worth more. We are love divine. My God, it's love. The bravest heart with broken names become mine. Of broken things, take it to the sky, blackbird, and reclaim your mind, blackbird. Be set free. Take it to the sky, blackbird, and reclaim your life, blackbird. I'll call me. What is love? What is love? My God, oh take it to the sky, blackbird, reclaim your mind, blackbird. Be set free. Take to the sky, blackbird, reclaim your mind. Thank you, God. Thank you, Holy, 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 Holy Spirit. It's divine love, it's divine love, divine light. I take to the sky. Oh, every prayer, my life. Oh, you are the sky. You paint the night. What do you dream? True love.
Oh, my dear Lord. Thank you so much, both of you. That was incredible, truly. A little bit more love, please, for Jen and Kevin. Oh, man, we are now in the home stretch and we're getting ready. It's time to give thanks once again for all the many loving hands and huge hearts that have come together to make this service. I mean, look at this. We have celebrated Hanukkah. Did I do that right? And also this wonderful solstice. So this has been a very special time for me, I think. I hope for you as well. As together we know that there are so many of us here who want to just love you. And that includes our practitioners. You know, like we love to pray. You know the routine. We're back there waiting for you. There's a prayer box that you can slip your stuff in, and know that you've got high consciousness folk praying for you and for your greater good. This is good stuff, right? So as we let go, at this really special time, let us embrace the darkness. Let us remember how deeply our roots go, and let us light a candle. And with that in mind, let us stand together to say our closing affirmation. Ready? I walk through this and step into my best self as God in action and motion, and so it is. All right. Please, ladies and gentlemen.
There was a time in my life that I had to do it all by myself. Didn't know the strength of God was sufficient. I didn't know the truth of God was at hand. But now I know when you're struggling just to make it through another day, gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. And this is what I got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit of my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am clean in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit of my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Let me hear you guys sing it. And I let go. I let the Spirit from my life. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Woo! Only here for God. Only here for